Hello and welcome to another episode of Toothless MMA's radio series Quick Hitters. I'll be your host, John Galloway, and today, as we look at the world of combat sports, I'll be joined by my guest, Simpson. John Galloway, Toothless MMA, how's it going today?
It's going good. Just finished up, another practice today, a couple more training sessions. Everything's going good and feeling great right now.
Excellent. Now, you're currently in camp. How many weeks is your camp all together?
This camp actually carried on from my last camp. I've actually been in camp since, I want to say, around late June.
Wow.
Mid-June, late June. I had a fight scheduled all the way in July. My opponent showed up 30 pounds overweight, very unprofessional. So after that, I just got right back in the gym and just kept going.
Yeah, and right now you are currently in this extended camp because right now you have another fight coming up. It's going to be September 26th at the Cedar Park Center in Cedar Park, Texas for Titan Fighting 30. And you're going to be facing Richie Martinez. Now, how did this fight come about?
I was actually out in California training out there, finishing up for my previous fight. And I had seen a Facebook posting asking for local Texas fighters. So immediately, when I found out who I had to contact to get on the Titan card, I immediately started, pushing to get on this card. It's been a while since I've been able to fight pretty close to home, so it'd be nice to be able to fight close to home. I have my friends and my family and everyone be able to come out and see me and support.
Now, do you have any worries going into this fight that being in camp for such a long period of time is going to mess with your timing? I know a lot of fighters try to peak right at the time of their fight, but clearly if you're talking that you've been in camp since midsummer, you're going to be looking at probably close to 3 to 4 months by the time you actually get into the ring. You think that's going to throw you off at all?
I don't think the camp is going to throw me off, having the extended camp with my timing. It's just being ready at any moment whenever they call is just kind of the motto, because you never know whenever you're going to get a call for, to show up somewhere. So it's just always better to be ready. Even though that last fight didn't go through, I did take some time off. I gave myself, a week off just to rest, recuperate, visit family, just feel like my everyday self before I got back in that mindset of, hey, it's time to go back to work.
Gotcha. So now, for those of the people that don't know your history, don't know your background, why don't you talk to me about how you got started in MMA? Where are your roots? Where's the beginning?
I started in 2010, spring of 2010. I walked into the gym, and I was a 240-pound kid because I used to play defensive lineman in high school out here. I walked in just to get into shape. I started losing weight. I started enjoying the training. So about a year after that, 2011, I had my first amateur fight. I won that by a first-round knockout, and then I was hooked. I did 10 amateur fights within 2 years, and then, I went to the pro status, and I've been fighting ever since. It's something that kept me going. I missed the competing through football, so this is the most honest competition I've ever been in.
Nice. I can't imagine seeing you at 240 pounds on the defensive line. Now you're fighting at 155. Is that where your fight with Richie is going to be? Is that 155?
No, the fight with Richie is going to be at 170.
Okay, 170. So coming up a little bit. Now, is this something that you've done previously in the past, going from one weight division to another?
Actually, my whole amateur career was at 155. I did 10 amateur fights at 155. I did another 3 professional fights at 155, and I felt like it was, too taxing on my body. Because I come from a big family. My family, they're kind of big people, so I didn't want to hurt myself in the long run. So I felt moving up to 170 is the greater fit for me, which it is. I'm able to train all the time. I don't feel fatigued. You know, when I used to cut down to 155, you know, maybe the last couple of weeks in camp, I was so tired because I had to cut my calories so much trying to make that weight limit. I wasn't able to train properly for the fight. So now at 170, you know, I feel bigger, stronger, faster, more prepared, you know, more explosive, more aggressive, and I'm ready to go.
Nice, and that's a good move, especially you know, having a guy like yourself, you know, make that call on your own. Just recently, just as close as last weekend, we had major events with the UFC having to shuffle their board, shuffle who's fighting, because fighters that were unable to you know, cut a drastic amount of weight. So it's nice to see guys that are attuned to that and, you know, in tune with their body. So, you know, good for you, and you know, hopefully that'll maintain and keep up. Now, getting back to your roots, I wanted to touch on something. Now, from day one, you've been a complete mixed martial artist. You didn't start wrestling or start boxing. You came into this as one discipline, as MMA. Do you think going into your fights against other fighters that might have a background in just one discipline, or a root in one discipline, so to say, does it give you an advantage, or do you think the fact that they have such a strong base sometimes works against you?
I feel like, you know, me being well balanced, it helps me out. It helps me out as an athlete, and it also helps me out as a martial artist. You know, being able to not only being able to fight on the ground, but being able to fight standing up, now being able to control taking the fight to the ground or keep it standing. I think that helps me out instead of just being strong in just one base. You know, being strong in just one base gets you killed in the sport. You know, you have to evolve the sport. The sport evolves every day. So trying to, you know, I try to learn everything I possibly can. You know, being more complete, you know, I feel as though that's helped me reach the success that I've had so far.
Nice, and that success you're talking about right now, you currently have a record of I believe it's 4-1. Is that your current professional record?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
All right. Now you had your 2 wins. You suffered a setback with a loss. Now you're back on a two fight win streak. Talk about bringing that momentum of those 2 wins over into this next fight for you.
See, the first 3 fights of my professional career, they were at 155. So, you know, sometimes I would go in the next night and I didn't feel recovered. I didn't, you know, sometimes I'd have a headache. Sometimes I'd still feel sick, and, you know, and it just didn't feel right. So when we made the decision for me to go up to 170, as you see, the finishes came quicker.
Yes, you had 2 first-round finishes, a minute 29 and a minute 19 into the fights respectively.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel as though, you know, growing up to 170, that's the best career choice that we made for myself. You know, my coaches, you know, my mentors, everyone that's helped me out. When we stuck with the decision for me to go to 170, that was the best thing possible. Because, you know, like you said, the major productions, they had their weight cutting issues. Well, you know, that when I suffered that loss, you know, I was so drained and dehydrated that I didn't even make weight that day, and I felt really unprofessional about it. And, you know, I got my bell rung, and, you know, I didn't come in the way I should have came in. So that right there was, I would rather have gotten that hard lesson that I had learned that day already out the way early on, instead of having, you know, going on and embarrassing myself later on.
Totally understandable. Now, going into this fight that you have coming up, have you had an opportunity to study your opponent at all? Have you watched any tape or seen any of Richie's fights?
Yeah, I've watched a few of his fights. I really don't want to go too much into detail with that, but you know, he does have a slick submission game. I'll give that to him. He's slick.
Yeah, right now he's 3-0. All 3 of his fights have ended by submission. He fights out of 10th Planet, who obviously they have a good reputation for producing fighters that are good on the ground. Does that worry you at all, going against somebody who has that type of camp behind them?
No.
Now
The
you,
only thing I can't worry about things that I can't control. Only things I need to worry about are the things I can control, which is myself. I can control my training. I can control what I do. I really can't worry about what he does. If anything, the only thing I have to worry about is what I'm going to do, and that's performing.
now, are you still training with Twin Wolves MMA? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Still training with Twin Wolves. There's been a couple times. I'm actually getting ready to head back out to Team Alpha Male. Train at the Prado Academies out there in Fairfield, California, and Vacaville, California. I really liked the vibe that I got when I was out there at Team Alpha Male. Stuff like that. Got to work with Dwayne Ludwig and some of those other guys. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about going out there again.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Talk about the influence that they've had on you, and being around Team Alpha Male. What that's shown you and what that has meant for you in terms of getting insight into how to prepare, how to go about setting up for a fight.
Drillers are the killers, man. And how professional they are, and it's the confidence they bring. Everyone in their confidence. So you have to, radiate confidence everywhere you go. You have to radiate confidence in your everyday life, in your training, everything that you do. You have to be confident. When you drilling brings success. So it helped me implement more drilling into my training when I come back home. When I go out there again. Like I said, it's really, they got a lot of good guys out there. I'm really excited to go back out there.
Excellent. Now, going into this fight and going into the gym every day, you clearly have people that have helped you out along the way. Why don't you mention some of your sponsors and some of the people that have been helping you out?
First off, I'd like to thank the Ruiz family that got me into the gym. When I came in at that 240-pound kid, they changed my life around. I'd also like to thank my sponsors, Illuminated 24, So Natural Organic Foods. I'd also like to thank More Coffee House. Gosh, there's so many. Deep Stage Motorsports, they've been really big. They've been supporting me since day one. Everyone's been supporting me since day one. I'd also love to thank my family, all my training partners, and everyone that's believed in me and given me the confidence to be who I am today and to keep fighting.
Nice. Now, if the fight's coming up, it's September 26th. Again, it's going to be Cedar Park Center in Cedar Park, Texas. For those people that can't be there live in Cedar Park to see it and can't catch it on CBS and CBS Sports Network, where can they follow you on social media to get an idea how the fight went and just to keep in touch and see what you have coming up in your career?
Follow me on Twitter at Simpson MMA. My Instagram is Simpson MMA as well, too. You can look up my name on Facebook, Lavelle Simpson, and I also have a fan page, Simpson MMA. I try to keep all that simple so people know who they're following.
Excellent. Nice. Well, we want to say good luck to you on September 26th. Hope the fight goes your way. And that's going to wrap up another episode of Toothless MMA's radio series Quick Hitters. I'd like to extend a big thank you to today's guest for joining us. For Lavelle Simpson, this is John Galloway, and we are tapping out.